Okay, hey everybody, it is Crystal here, and I am so excited to be coming to you live. So, I am making sure I'm doing this on both. Hey everybody, I'm doing this on both Facebook and Instagram for the first time, and I'm so excited to be coming in, and I'm hoping that everything is working so that we are going live in both places and everybody can see. But I wanted to come to you guys tonight. I've been talking about this for a while, and so I might be looking back and forth. I don't really know quite which place to look. So if you see me looking away, I'm trying to look at both places. But I wanted to come to you and share with you this opportunity that has literally changed my life. It's changed my life in so many ways, and it would be crazy of me not to share it with other people because I can't imagine if the person who shared it with me never did. And I'll tell you this, I will get to my story a little bit more in a few minutes, but I didn't even consider this at first. I was like, this is no way, not my thing. No thanks. I didn't even give it a second thought. Didn't even look at it. And that was something that I kick myself for now. But I was like, I seriously had to humble myself. So I asked that you come in here with an open mind, an open heart. And I just want to have a conversation with you. Again, like I said, it's made a huge difference in my life, and I feel like if I didn't share this with you and with more people, then I would be doing a disservice. So that being said, welcome to our little sneak peek into coaching. We're going to talk about the what's, the who's, the where's, how we get it done, how we make it happen. And gosh, you guys, we only have I want to cap this off in about 40 minutes total. So that means I'm going to be talking really fast. So if you have any questions as I'm going through, go ahead and post them in the comment section, and I will try to get to them at some point, but hopefully I will be addressing as much as absolutely possible as we go through this. So my name is Crystal Milligan, and I have been a Beachbody coach for 5 years now, just over 5 years. And honestly, when I first heard that whole term, that whole name, I wanted nothing to do with it. I thought that it was, just like everything else out there in the world, that there was, a ton of crappy fitness, nutrition, all that kind of stuff out there, and I wanted nothing to do with it. I honestly, my background, I was a personal trainer, and I had seen family members go through other fitness and health companies and use their products and just yo-yo, and I had seen the ingredients in the company and what they were putting out in their products and stuff, and it was nothing that I would ever have recommended to my clients or anything else. And I really just kind of made an assumption based off of that, and I wanted nothing to do with it. It was when I finally opened my eyes to look at the opportunity to see what this was all about. When I finally pulled down those walls and, actually humbled myself a little bit to look into it and see well, why is this supposedly so great? Or, why does this person keep talking to me about this or whatever? When I finally actually considered it, I saw the quality behind it. I saw the integrity behind it. I saw just the top level of, what would you call it? Just the way that they weren't willing to cut corners, the way that they used the best of the best, and they wouldn't settle for anything less than that. That impressed me. That was something that would be the way that I would run a company myself. And so I was like, okay, let's give this a look. And so that was when I started actually looking into this whole coaching thing. And I said, okay. So I looked at some of the products, and I was like, okay, like I said, I was I was impressed. And I said, okay, well, I have to try this out for myself. And that was where my journey started. And so I share this with you because a lot of people think that a lot of people have a lot of assumptions. Oh, you have to be this to do this. Oh, you have to be one of those to do that. Oh, you have to be this kind of person to make this happen. And I'm going to address all of those in this right now. What is a coach? What isn't a coach? And why that's really important. This job is all about helping other people to succeed. Our goal as coaches is to add value and to help people grow closer to their goals. Whether that's, obviously physical is a huge part of it, but it's also mental and spiritual and or financial. I can't tell you how many times that people will start out working with me as a coach and say, it's for the physical aspect of things, but then they come back and I get these messages about how they are so transformed mentally and emotionally with all of that kind of stuff. Hi guys, yeah, let me know when you're joining in. I see people are joining in, so just let me know where you are and who's joining in so I can say hi. So it's natural to be excited about this, but it's also natural to be hesitant. When you start anything new, you're going to be hesitant, and I know I was really hesitant, and so that's why I want to come here and share this stuff with you. I want to share the ins and outs with you. I want to break it down and tell you like the reality of this, like what it's really all about. So, your success is not related on selling things to people. That's the first thing, this first misconception that people have, right? A lot of times they're like, oh, I don't do sales. Oh, I don't do sales, so coaching's not for me. Guys, I don't do sales either. I suck at sales. I remember I used to be a personal trainer in a corporate environment, which was like my least favorite ever. But I was a personal trainer in a corporate environment where they like tracked your numbers and how many people you were signing up and were like meeting with you on a regular basis. Well, you're not you're not hitting your numbers this month and and all this kind of stuff. And I hated that pressure type of job where I was just focused on sales. I was like, I am not here to sell people. I am here to help people. And while they thought that was all nice, they cared more about the numbers. And I was like, okay, this does not fit with how I live. This company fits with how I live. It is not to sell people something. That's why, like, for me tonight, sharing this with you, I'm not here to convince anybody. I am here to tell you like it is, to share with you the realities, because I know, probably like you, I came in full of assumptions. I came in and thought I knew everything about what this was. Maybe you've known someone that has led you on to believe certain things or whatever, and just like anything, there are going to be different levels and different types of hairdressers. There are going to be different levels and different types of doctors. There are going to be different levels and different types of personal trainers or chiropractors or whatever it might be. And so there's going to be all different types of people who are doing this coaching thing as well. But my goal is not to convince you here. My goal is to let you know what it is and what it's all about and how it's changed my life and how it could potentially do the same for you. Sorry, again, I'm trying to talk to two screens because we're live on Instagram, live on Facebook. It's a little bit challenging, but so it's not related to selling things to others. It's about helping other people succeed. That's the thing. So when we help other people succeed, we have more success, right? So we are running challenge groups, which are like support and community groups for the workout programs and the nutrition programs that we have, right? So as an online coach with Beachbody, you would have access to a huge amount of resources as far as programs from, everything from yoga to dance to bodybuilding to high intensity interval training to basic, different functional fitness, beginner, intermediate, advanced. Like that was one of the things as a trainer personally that I was really impressed with. And it's only grown and gotten better over the last 5 years that I have been a coach. There are nutrition plans that are lifestyle based. So you tweak them and you work with them to make them personalized to each person. Like each person will figure out how they're going to be personalized towards them. But they are personalized towards you, but they are lifestyle plans. It's not, let's go on a diet and then restrict, and then go back to real life, right? Because that's not real life. You're not going to have sustainable results like that. Sustainable lifestyle results. That's what this really is all about. And that's another reason why I fell in love with this company and its resources that it had to offer. So it's helping other people succeed. When we are there to support people and to encourage people and to help them find out what program is going to be best for them, and to support them along their journey and see their successes, to help them and encourage them to start to do personal development and work on their confidence and their emotions and how that affects them and everything else. Like, that's the stuff that is a game changer, you guys. That is the stuff that truly changes lives. It's about working as a team to chase our dreams, to inspire other people to do the same. One of my things that I love and that I'm really focused on, that I say often, is it's about women empowering women. And yes, there are men that do this in this company as well. And we do have some men on our team, but primarily on my team specifically, on our team specifically, it is a mostly women, because like attracts like, and that's what we attract, who we are. And that's the thing of why, I know that it would be great for a lot of people that we're talking to, because there's a reason why we've connected. There's a reason why you've connected with the person that invited you here. It's because like attracts like, and you see something in them that inspires you, right? And they see something in you that inspires them and says like, oh, you should totally do this. Workouts each day are going to be catered. So I'm answering just a quick question over here on Instagram. Workouts are going to be catered to whatever your goal is. So there's tons of different programs, anywhere from 10 minutes a day to an hour and a half a day. Most of them aren't that long or aren't that short. They all range mostly in the 30-minute range, but it's going to be depending on whatever your goals are. And that's the great thing. It's not a cookie cutter system. It's something that is truly meeting the needs of the person where they are at. And that's what our job is to do, is to meet the person's needs where they're at. We say, okay, what are their needs? What do they need help in? How can I help them? And then we cater to that. That's the cool thing. It's not about sales. It's not about, oh, I got to hit my quota or whatever else. No, it's about meeting the person where they're at and helping them. Okay, so I want to ask you a question. Have you ever, and this is going to sound a little cheesy, but I want you to play along with me for a whole second, right? Have you ever had a feeling that you were meant to do something great in this life? I really want you to think about that for a second, that you would leave a lasting impression and really make a difference. Because, there's going to be a lot of reasons why you're watching this, why you're tuning in, all of that kind of stuff, right? So, there's a lot of things that can be accomplished with this. This opportunity is one where it could be solely to work on yourself, for yourself, so you can be the best version of you to pour into others, and that is your primary goal. It could be that you want to create a second income to relieve some financial burden, or to be able to be home with your children and work from home. It could be something like that. It could be you want to go on a dream vacation, or have save for a college fund, or retire your husband, or maybe you just want to adventure and cruise around and not have to worry about the financial part of it. Maybe you just really love how you feel doing these workouts already, and you're like, well, I love this community and I love these workouts and I love what this is all about. Why? And I'm sharing it with other people naturally. I'm on social media on a regular basis. Why wouldn't I pay that forward? Why wouldn't I actually help other people so that they could feel as good as I could feel, and then I could actually earn an income from it? I mean, hello. It kind of just, I like when I say it out loud, I'm like, Does that even make sense? That why wouldn't people do that? So, okay, here's the thing. Whatever your big dream is, whatever you want to do with this, it really is capable that you can do it, right? So I'll be honest with you. I never in a million years thought I would be a Beachbody coach. Never in a million years. I honestly was the biggest skeptic, like the biggest skeptic. And I mentioned that earlier. I had family who had done some other, used some other products of another company that was this health and fitness company. And I was like, ugh, I would never, ever be a part of that. I was a snob. I will outright and just say it. I was the total like fitness snob. And I thought like these network marketing things were all the same, right? I assumed a lot of things, but when I finally actually looked into it, I was impressed, guys. And that was not an easy thing to do. It was not an easy thing to impress me. So for me, I was living paycheck to paycheck at best. I was a personal trainer and I was hustling, right? I had just had my first son. I have 3 kids now and I work from home now full time, but I just had my first son and I was working kind of like a split shift as often personal trainers do. I was working a big chunk of hours really early in the morning. I was with my son in the middle of the day and I was working a big chunk of hours later at night. I never saw my husband because we worked completely opposite hours, but we needed the income. I was trying to make it up and like stuff like, here's what happens. Like holidays are supposed to be a really amazing time. And like, I always think back to the holidays now because they're so different for me now. But holidays are supposed to be awesome, right? But so many people get stressed out because they go into debt and can't pay for things and then put stuff on credit cards because it's supposed to be joyful. We're supposed to buy all these gifts, whatever else. And I just remember always at Christmas when I was a trainer and I had my family and whatnot, I was like, I can't, after I married my husband and when I had my baby, I was just like, okay, well, my clients go on vacation and they go and they do things and people, it's just normal. So I'm not having as many hours that I'm working. So therefore I don't get paid. When I had my son, I didn't have maternity leave. I didn't get paid when I didn't work. And I was like, okay, I've got to get out of this Groundhog Day and start to live a life that I truly want, which is not to just eat, sleep, repeat. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. Like I needed something more. And this was bigger than myself. Once I actually again took down the walls and looked into it, it was different than anything I'd ever heard of. And it changed my world. And that's why I feel a responsibility to share it with you. So that being said, what is a coach? Okay, so first I'm going to start out with what a coach isn't and go through a couple of these. Okay, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's hard work, and so that will scare off some people. You get out the effort that you put into it. So if you aren't willing to put effort and time into it, then you're not going to succeed. That being said, if you are in this for your own journey and you're in it to focus on yourself so you can pour, from a full cup rather than an empty cup, then that is okay. And that is totally fine. Again, it depends on what your goals are. But you can't come into this and say, okay, I'm a coach, and then where are all my people, where are all my clients at? Oh my gosh, 3 months later, it didn't work for me. Like, it doesn't work like that. No, it takes work and it takes effort. And so I live by the motto, be here in a year. So that means give the business 100% for a year, and guys, you'll be amazed. Like, you will be amazed. And you may, if you've ever heard any other coach speak about this, I was amazed at when I actually gave it my true effort for an entire year. And that means showing up consistently, like what you would do for an actual job. You can't just not show up for a job because you don't feel like it one day, right? You're not going to get paid if that happens. And so that's the thing, as an entrepreneur, you need to continually show up. One thing, I'll talk about that actually later. I was going to say, I'm going to compare it to starting an actual, brick and mortar business, but we'll do that. I have a good slide that I want to show you guys in a little bit. So number 2 is, what is a Beachbody coach? That I am a product of the product. that is what a Beachbody coach is. So it's not that I'm perfect. It's not that I'm a fitness expert. And honestly, I get asked that all the time because I do come from a training background. I think that this is something every trainer should be doing, that they should have they don't have to do it full time like me. That was my choice because I wanted more time freedom personally, but have at least as a side thing where you can extend your reach to more people. You can have a residual income coming in on the side on the hours that you choose. Like, it's just smart. When you're a trainer, you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. But that being said, you don't have to be a fitness expert, because it's not about, you're not creating the diet plans for people. You're not creating the workouts for people. We have the resources for those things that we hand to people. And then we are the encouragers. We are the accountability. We are the, hey, how are you? And how's that going? Okay, let's go on this journey together and support each other. That's what a coach is. It's not about I have to have a six pack, but it is, I am on my own fitness journey and I am sharing it with others. That is a hugely important part of being a coach, is sharing your journey with others, being proof that, yeah, I'm in the trenches with you. Yes. I had a bad day and went off my nutrition plan as well, but it's okay. We're going to get back on that train and get going again, right? Or, we're rallying, we're doing this, we're making it happen, let's go. No, we're not going to give up this time, or whatever it might be. It's about sharing that with others. It's not about, selling anything except for a healthy lifestyle that's based upon, the principles of actually eating real food and regular exercise. And I posted something earlier about this because I see so many quick fixes nowadays and everything else. And that was another reason why I fell in love with this company, was because it's about the real thing, like fitness and sound nutrition to move you forward and get you progress and results. And that's why it's sustainable, and that's why it gives you results that will last for the long haul. That's why it's a lifestyle. So that's why I love it. So intangibles, right? I have found a new passion for health and fitness, and I have never felt better, right? I know as a trainer, for me, honestly, there are times where I would get burnt out because I was giving and giving and giving, and I was never getting anything. I don't know if you've ever feel like that in any kind of job that you've been in or anything else. And it's, in your job, it's not about getting anything, right? It's about, you are supposed to be very giving. And this is a very giving job as well. But I feel like there's times where it's amazing because you are getting so much back from people. People say oh, you're so encouraging, or you're so motivating, but it's that back and forth vibe where, they feed you and you feed them, and it works because I am so motivated by all of the people that are in our challenge groups, on our team, that are in the trenches too, that are changing their lives. It's just, when you surround yourself with people who are rising up and trying to be the best version of themselves, it is crazy. The motivation and the inspiration that you will feel, and how that can seriously change your life. So I know for me that I've increased confidence in all areas of my life. I no longer am obsessed with food. I've overcome my food obsession, and this has been played a huge role in overcoming my binge eating disorder that I had struggled with for so many years in the past. I have done so much personal development now as a recommendation from being a coach that, I am not nearly as tough on myself as I used to be. Especially as a woman, we tend to have that negative self-talk. We always talk down to ourselves, and that's terrible. And this has been something that has poured so much love and light into my life that it has helped me to overcome that, because I am surrounded by like-minded women that are lifting me up on a regular basis, and I'm doing the same for them. So how do you succeed, right? How do you succeed? So you succeed at being a Beachbody coach by putting the needs of others first, right? So yes, you are focused on your own journey, and that is a huge part of it, and sharing that and pouring into your own cup first before you can pour into others. But it's about seeing others succeed, right? It's not about like, I want to make $1 million. How can I get there the fastest way? No, the way that you get anywhere is that you are focused on putting the needs of others first. So by reaching out to people and offering your support and guidance, like I said earlier, it's about meeting people where they're at. That's just, you know, for me, I enroll my customers into challenge groups, and it offers them support and guidance. It's a place where we can convene to have people who are on similar paths. Like there's some people out there who have no support when they're trying to do something positive and healthy in their lives. They don't have any peer support. Their family totally puts them down, discourages them. People ask, oh, are you doing that thing again or whatever? And they're trying to do something positive in their life. And this can be that place, that place for support, that place for that safe place of trust, and where they can grow and become better and be their absolute best. And that's the place where I have day-to-day contact with my customers, right? I can support and motivate and encourage them to start and finish a fitness program. Like I said, there's all different kinds of programs for everything from beginner to advanced, from, you know, short amount of time to a longer amount of time. There really truly is everything across the gamut. So we talk about, you know, we share tips and recipes and all of that kind of stuff, and different strategies, and you know, like when we struggle with getting in water, like that's one of the things that I stink at, you guys. I'm just notoriously like, I struggle with getting in enough water each day, and like we share tips and how we can get better with that. I help them, they help me. Like that's what this is all about. It's about that community support. So you succeed by leading by example and inspiring others to get into shape, and by being motivated, driven, and passionate about what you do. That's what it is. You, of course, don't have to know everything. Nobody knows everything, okay? There is not a person on this earth that does, and you don't have to know all the answers, right? You just have to be motivated to get started. Like I said, you don't have to be a fitness expert. It's more about the support aspect. The company provides the experts who create the programs. I mean, gosh, I can't even tell you the amazing stuff we have coming out this year that they've led into. We have a whole program that is just specifically designed to focus on people who have emotional eating issues, right? Which is like, what, gosh, like high, like 90+% of us, right? There are so many people who struggle with emotional eating. We have a program coming out from experts that have gone and done stuff with people, researched and worked in the trenches, and come up with these amazing, incredible programs and tested them on people. And those are the resources that we have at our fingertips to help more people. It's incredible, you guys. So what kind of help and support will I receive? So once you are a coach, right? Once you are a coach, what happens? You are going to be part of our team. The team name is called Team Pay It Forward, because we're literally paying it forward to more people. We're empowering more people to live their best life. You will have access to both trainings that our team has created, which we are a team who is in the top 1% of the company consistently over the years. We are an elite team, and we have access to the best of the best training that there is. It is simple, it is efficient. It says, do this, take action on this, cross your T's, dot your I's, bang, bang, boom. It tells you what to do and walks you through it. It's a self-paced type of training. So that's the thing. Again, like the beauty of this is when you come into this, you do it at your own pace. Like I said, some people are going to be here more for their journey and just want to help maybe some people here along the way. Some people are going to take this and be like, I am taking this and running with this. This is an incredible resource, and I'm going to do big things with this. And there are going to be a lot of people in between, right? So it's just more about the beauty of this business is that you can make it whatever you want to, right? So same thing with our training, you can go as fast through the training or as slow through the training as you want to. The most important thing is about taking action, right? Taking action. And like I said, commit to being here a year from now. Show up daily and do what you are supposed to do, right? Which is sharing your journey, that kind of stuff. So we have all that training. The company also provides incredible resources as far as learning and growing. Guys, there's a wealth of information. You're not going to be shorted at any of that kind of stuff. You would be apprenticing with the coach on our team, the person that invited you here, or if you are here with me, myself, you would be apprenticing with that coach on the team when you first came in. There is no set amount of apprenticeship time. Again, it depends on what you're looking to do, what your goals are, what you've mapped out with the coach once you get started. So you'd be apprenticing and you wouldn't have to do everything all at once. You are more like focusing on yourself and building relationships and networking and connecting with people at first, then running all the challenge groups, running all the team stuff, doing all that kind of stuff. Now, you do those with your coach so that your coach kind of takes care of all of that stuff for you, and you're kind of coming alongside and helping out so that you learn as you go, right? That's huge. I know I'm a big learn by doing person. So for me, it was everything. And knowing that I didn't have to do everything all by myself at first and I had a team to support me was awesome to hear about that. But there's somebody here to lead you and to help you all along the way. You're not going to be alone. And that's one of the biggest things that you need to remember. Again, if you guys have questions, just let me know. I'm trying to look back and forth. Hey, Ma. So I'm totally okay. So there are, just as far as a couple perspective wise, I love this perspective. So one of the things I asked of you tonight was to keep an open mind, right? And so a lot of times we automatically judge this opportunity before we even get into this, right? And so there are a couple of different analogies that I like to present to really open your mind and potentially change your perspective, right? So when you start a business, say you're starting a brick and mortar business, right? It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of money. Usually you're putting up, at least 1 million in liquidable assets and probably $300,000 plus investment for something like an Orange Theory gym. Those are super popular right now, right? A Starbucks is actually way more than that. Dunkin' Donuts, Panera Bread, or, to think of it, and I know I consider this before, if you're going to start from scratch with no name recognition, then you're looking at least 3 years plus of being in the red, right? Being in the red means that you're not making any income, that you are in the negative, that you owe more money and you're not bringing any kind of positive flow in. Hey, Jane. So that's a scary thing, but that is something that many people will take on as an entrepreneur because they believe in their vision and what they want to do, right? So as far as opening your own franchise or starting your own juice bar or gym or whatever other else business that you would potentially consider starting, a Beachbody business is just really a lot more intelligent way of going about things, right? The mentality is the same, but it's not with the huge, ginormous investment. It's not with the ton of risk and, the multiple years before you actually see return on your investment. Beachbody still gives you name recognition, which that's one of the things, honestly, we have the name recognition, but often we teach people how to brand themselves. You are branding yourself because people connect with people, right? They don't connect. Like, they can get Beachbody stuff anywhere. You can get Beachbody stuff on Amazon. But as a coach, as you build a team, as you're helping more people, they connect with the people. So it's the relationships that you're building. Like I said, like attracts like. That's why I said the people on our team were all very similar in a lot of ways. That's why we have a lot of fun together, because like attracts like, right? So, sorry, I'm just trying to get this little thing. So standard franchise opportunity usually requires $50,000 in startup costs. Usually requires $250,000 minimum of assets and $500,000 minimum of net worth per unit, right? You may be required to lease the property, equipment, marketing materials, etc., resulting in thousands of out-of-pocket money. You have long hours at a location. You're in charge of hiring and fixing problems and all that kind of stuff. And your average income after paying off all your debt is around $50,000 to $60,000 per year. That's great. You're doing what you love. That's awesome. But that's a standard franchise opportunity. That's a lot of risk. That's a lot of risk, right? Most corporate careers, there's no upfront cost, but you usually pay for, if you think about this seriously, keep an open mind, like I'm telling you, proper clothes that you have to wear. I know when I actually had, for like a hot second, I've always been in the fitness industry, but I worked in a corporate setting at one point where I actually had to wear like work clothes, like actual business casual. I had to go buy a whole entire new wardrobe because I do not own business casual clothes, right? So the clothes, the gas to get there, the tolls, the uniforms, whatever it might be. There are zero financial requirements typically for most corporate careers, right? Am I right? But most require college degrees, master's degrees, or some course of certification that you've invested in, right? I know that as a trainer, I had a certification that I invested in and I had to continue to uphold. I went to college and spent lots and lots of money on that. As a corporate career, you have no control over your time or your schedule. Your boss tells you when to show up and when you can leave and what you are doing. The average cap and income in most corporate jobs is $61,000 per year, right? Okay. But it's safe. It's safe, right? It's safe. So a Beachbody opportunity, it's between $140 to $300 in startup costs. And that's honestly based off of the package of what's going to fit your needs and what your goals are. There's a lot of different things that are available, so you just be discussing that with your coach. There are zero financial requirements, right? You don't have to have any, net worth per unit or minimum assets or any of that kind of stuff. It is a $15.95 a month payment, right? And that provides you with everything you need and deals with issues that you don't want to, like shipping and handling and inventory and accounting and customer service. Done. Like, you don't have to do any of that, right? Like, I had to do all of that myself when I was a personal trainer, and it stunk. Like, guys, it stunk. Beachbody does it all for you, right? You work your own business hours from anywhere. I work from home. Like, now I sneak out to the coffee shop because my kids have changed or shifted or whatever and stuff like that. I have other friends that I have a friend who's a part of our team. Her husband plays basketball in different countries every single year. She works from a different country and she's been able to grow her business continually. We have a lot of military wives on our team that they've had to give up their careers for their husband to follow them. This is something that they can pour into and focus on being their best and investing in themselves and grow from wherever they live, right? Let me say this really quickly, though. United States, Canada, and United Kingdom. Those are the three current places that you can be living in and be a coach. We are not outside of that yet. So I just said that. I was like, oh, wait, you can't really technically go anywhere. But you could travel. So for example, I have a coach that lives in Japan right now, right? But she is from the United States. She has a social security number, all of that kind of stuff. So although she lives in Japan, she can still be a coach, right? Does that make sense? So, but you can work your own business hours. So again, what you put into it is what you get out of it. So, and then last but not least, 70% of women in the United States that are six-figure earners or more are in network marketing. I know that blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, wow, that's impressive. Guys, I'm not going to tell you how much I make because I don't like to talk about money a whole lot, but I never thought that I would be earning over six figures in this. You know, like, I still am so thankful to God all the time. Like, I'm just like, I am so blessed. Like, I can't even believe this, that I finally opened my eyes and said yes to this opportunity, because it's changed our world. Financially, it's changed our world. I can put, like, our kids have been able to go to the private school that we really wanted them to go to because of the income that this has provided. I've been able to stay home with our kids because of this income that it has provided. We travel. I just counted the other day that we were talking about our schedule and everything. We're traveling 10 different occasions this year. That would have never been happening if it weren't for this opportunity. Like, we've been able to pay it forward and bless other people when our friends have been in need, or our family, to surprise them with something or anything else like that. We've been able to do it because of this opportunity. And again, it's because of the effort that I've put into it. But there are so many things that you can do with this opportunity if you put the time and effort into it. Hey, mama, what's going on, Tanya? Okay, so coming up, I want to start to wrap this up and answer any questions that you might have or anything else. But there's a lot of things that people will have common fears, common worries, common misconceptions, and all that kind of stuff. And they say, like, oh, I don't know, you know, there's all these people and there's all these people around me, and there's a coach here that's so saturated there, whatever else. Guys, like I said, that this is something where you are branding yourself. People connect with people. They don't connect with products. And so because of the person that you are, that is why someone's going to connect with you. Because of the relationships that you build and what you share on your journey and how people, you know, are connecting with you. Like, I've had people, when I have shared, and this did not happen on day one, I will tell you that, but when I have opened up and shared about my eating disorder and how I struggled with binge eating for so many years and the shame and all of that kind of stuff that it brought me, I have had so many people that have messaged me behind the scenes that said, oh my gosh, that is so me. Thank you for sharing that. And there are some of those people that I have not had the privilege to help yet. And there are some of those people that I have had the opportunity to be able to help them on their journey and along their way, and walk alongside of them and help them to move forward and make progress out of that point in their life. Like, guys, that's what I mean when it's life-changing. And that's what I mean about branding yourself and how people are going to come to you because of you and who you are. And yes, all because of your struggles and everything else too, not because you're perfect or anything else. So a couple of things that people say, I don't have a transformation yet. I don't have six-pack abs, whatever else. Like, guys, that's baloney. Okay, so there are so many different coaches on our team who of all shapes and sizes. Again, like I said, people are going to come to you because they relate to you. So, you know, there's, whoops, sorry, I just knocked over my little stand. We are running out of juice, apparently. But there are people who are not going to relate to me because I have not gone through the different struggles that they've gone through. I have not lost 100 pounds in my life. I've never had to overcome that. So there's going to be people on my team that have, and they are going to be much more relatable to people who have to overcome that, right? So that's what I said. It doesn't matter if you don't have transformation. It matters that you are focused on being your best self and working and sharing your journey along the way. Again, we already talked about the salesperson thing. I'm not going to bring that up again, because if you are a salesperson that's actually going to, not saying, sorry, if you're coming from a sales background, that's not going to hinder you. But if you're being salesy, that's going to hinder you, because that doesn't build relationships. And this is a relationship business. You have to care about people. And again, I feel like I'm totally like smashing salespeople. It's not like anti-salespeople, but it's just, you don't have to be a salesperson to do this. Let me just say that. If you don't have time, that's one of the biggest things I hear is, oh, I'm so busy. Honestly, I am kind of looking for busy people, because I always say, like, for me, I know that I perform best when I am busiest. Like when I have a full plate, I am rocking, I am rolling, I am getting stuff done, right? But when I'm kind of like, meh, I'm like, oh, what? Huh? Like, so I know for me, busy is best. That might not be for everybody, but if you don't have time, it's about making time. I started on this business working an average of about 10 hours a week. I cut out my TV time at night, to be honest. I told my husband, I was like, this is something I'm gonna like just invest into and do about an hour or so each day and commit to for a year and see what we can do with this. And he was on board with that. I said, this is what I think that this could be, and and whatever else. This is why, and so we moved forward like that. You make the time. You make the time. Like, don't tell me you don't have time. We all have the same 24 hours a day. I understand you are busy. Everyone's busy. You would make the time if it's important to you. Do you want to change your life? How important is that to you, right? And another thing is, people ask and they hesitate about, oh my gosh, nobody's ever going to be a part of my team. Nobody's ever going to buy anything from me or anything like that. Guys, like I said, when you start sharing your journey, you are going to inspire people. When you start letting people know the struggles that you deal with and that you are taking steps to overcome, you are going to inspire people. When you start showing up and working on yourself, people will see that and you are going to inspire people. It is a process. Some people will go through the process fast. Some people will go through the process slow, but don't doubt yourself. Is this a pyramid scheme? Absolutely not. I laugh at that all the time. Like, we are providing actual products and programs for people that are changing their lives. Even if they do nothing with it, they have a legit like product and program in hand. Like it's like, hi, I have a legit package in my hand. So no, it's not a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is when you take someone's money and then you run. That's what a pyramid scheme is. Next common worry is, I'm an introvert and I'm shy, so I don't know if I can do this. People always tell me, like, yeah, right, because I talk on these things now. Guys, I was so nervous coming into this, and hi, I'm talking to a screen where I can see myself. I can't see anybody else, so it makes things a little bit easier. But, I am kind of like that introverted extrovert. I can teach a class. I used to teach group exercise. I could teach a class of like 50 people, own it. But if you want me to walk into a room and start making small talk and conversation with people, I get a pit in my stomach. I probably start to like get sweat stains in my armpits and like all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, oh no. And like, trust me, when we have events, like corporate events, and there's lots of people there, I go into like, whoo, I have to like literally turn it on. And I'm like, I hate being in crowds and all that kind of stuff, but I turn it on and then I literally have to go home and like shut myself down for a couple of days because I need to come down from it all, because I am not an extrovert, right? So you don't need to be an extroverted extrovert, right? There are all different kinds of people that are doing this, and there are all different opportunities to be able to express yourself in so many different ways. It's just believing in yourself and reaching out to those people like, hey, if I could help someone like me, wouldn't I want to do that? Like I know for me, I want to help other people who are out there like in the situation that I was to overcome the hard places that they were, right? What if I fail? Guys, we have this thing on our team and in this network that's called failing forward, right? Failing forward is basically you are going to fail. You are going to fall. You're going to trip. You're going to hit your face. You're going to make mistakes. And that is part of it. That is one of the great parts of it, because then you pick yourself back up and a lot of people surrounding you help you stand back up because you have a team supporting you along the way. And then you look back and you say, okay, how can I learn? How can I grow? How can I get better? And that's what we call failing forward, right? So that is what we do on this team. It's about failing forward. So I encourage you to fail and to fail often and to fail big. Have you ever seen that Will Smith little clip? It's amazing. You should look it up. Will Smith failing. Like, go and look at it. You'll be inspired to do something like right now. What if I already work a full-time job? Guys, most of the people on our team started out working full-time jobs in this opportunity. I worked full-time, even though it was an unconventional way. I worked full-time. We still have people who are working full-time. We have people that are working part-time. We have people that are just, stay-at-home moms, whatever else. Again, it's the time that you put into this, and you can start something small. It could be your side hustle. Like I said, you don't have to have it replace, your income and to become your full-time job and all that stuff. It's what you want to make of it. And do you have to do Beachbody workouts to be a Beachbody coach? That's often a question, because I know I have a lot of CrossFit friends, and I have a lot of friends who, are really in like doing their spinning classes, or who train for triathlons and all that kind of stuff. Guys, you can still continue to do your workouts or whatever else, if that's your passion, then do it. But yeah, you have to use our programs and our products to some degree, because you have to practice what you preach. You have to walk the walk. So like for a lot of my CrossFit friends, like one of the great things is our performance line. Like our performance line is freaking phenomenal. If you haven't looked it up yet, you need to do yourself a favor and do that. It's really crazy impressive. And I know, my husband, he's a CrossFitter, and he swears by it, and all of his friends swear by it at his gym. And everyone's impressed by his performance all the time, and it's a lot in turn because of that. So there are different approaches that you can take. You don't have to be an all-in or an all or nothing person. There's a lot of different areas of how you can make this work. So I would say, let's talk, have a conversation, and see how this could potentially really benefit you. I am going to leave a link to the financial part of this below in the comments, so that you can look into more of that if you want to, like how do I actually make money. I have a little separate video on that. Like I said, it's not a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to make like $1 million in 3 days. That doesn't really happen. That's not real life. But there are some really incredible, and a variety of ways that you can earn income from doing something that you love, and that has passion, that you have a passion for, and that there's purpose behind, and that could be something really cool. So that is it. I've talked for a really long time. I appreciate you guys tuning in and all of that kind of stuff. If you have questions, like I said, I am an open book. This has changed my life personally, and I will continue to shout about it from the rooftops, because I know that again, I said no. I don't even know, because it's been a while and I have a bad memory, but I think it was at least like 4 or 5 times before I finally looked into this to see what it was all about. So I know that if someone hadn't kept shouting from the rooftops for me, and that that this would have never been a part of my life, and it wouldn't have changed my life in the ways that it has. So that's why I continue to shout about it and share it with other people. Like I said, I'm not here to convince anybody or anything, but I am here to just let you know the opportunity that is out there, and to tell you the realities of it, so that you are not misinformed or assuming anything, because I know that, again, I did the same thing too. So if you have questions, post below. Let me know. Let the coach know that invited you from our team. I hope that you have a fantastic Sunday, and I will talk to you guys soon.